Welcome back. In this series, we have been looking at how to make remote work actually work for us, because if you do want it to work, you need to be set up correctly. Now, in order for remote work to go smoothly, you need to have three pillars in place. It is practicality, legality, and productivity. We started our series with practicality, but we are currently looking at legality, and there are three aspects for your legal pillar to be strong. That's labor, company, and general law. We dealt with labor law in the last video, so now we're moving on to company law. Every country has legislation dedicated to the administration and governance of trade within that country. And you almost certainly have a piece of legislature that dictates how companies must be governed. Now, you know this because you're accountants, and it is part of your job to help your clients abide by this exact legislation. So the chances are very high that your accounting firm abides by this legislation and that you have all the things in place for it to work. But that might not cover remote work. So you need to pull out all of your corporate governance documents and check what needs adjusting. So we're going to start by looking at your general company policies, governance, and codes of conduct. Does anything in these need to be adapted for remote work? The answer is yes. There is a slim to none chance that your current company policies do not need adaptation for remote workers. They will need adaptation, but the details of how they change will be different firm to firm. So you need to spend some time going through them and either revising them or adding in alternatives or addendums for work from home situations. But please do go through your general governance documents and make sure that they refer to work from home situations. Then you need to take a look at your employee documentation. Now, we touched on employment contracts in the last video because obviously they're related directly to labor law, but you also need to go check and revise things like your employee handbooks, the things that detail office hours, use of shared equipment, parking spaces, things like dress codes. Those documents need to be revised as well, because some of the things in them won't apply to remote workers at all, like parking spaces, but some of them need to be adapted, like dress codes. So you want to check through these and make sure that you've made provision for all of these eventualities. Then you need to go to your standard operating procedures or your ways of working documents, the ones that deal with how your client work is done. Our first 6 videos dealt with the practical changes you need to make in order for remote work to work. Now, all of those changes will affect the way your employees work, which means you will need to update your SOPs once you are done, because there might be different software, there might be different ways of accessing information, and all of those things must be listed correctly in your SOPs. And then we have your risk management and I'm going to say your liability policies. The first being the privacy policy. Give this a once over. Make sure that the fact that you are using cloud software or remote servers or any form of document and data sharing solutions is covered in your privacy policy. I did actually cover cybersecurity in the practicality pillar. Cybercrime is a very real and present threat to all accounting firms. But when you add remote work into the mix, it becomes even more important to have a cybersecurity strategy and policy. You can compile these yourself. There are templates on the internet. There's lots of great videos and articles that will help you. But if you have the budget, I highly recommend an expert to help you. In the same way that you advise your clients to have them help, to have them help you, to have you help them with their cash flow, because they have no idea what they are doing when they try to manage it themselves. You should get an expert to help you with your cybersecurity, because like cash flow, cybersecurity is too important to treat as an afterthought. And the consequences of getting it wrong are financially and legally painful. Rather get it right from the start. A reminder, in that security video that we did, we also have a link underneath for our very short guide on what you need to think about when you're looking at your cybersecurity. If you've never thought of it before, go grab that guide. And then lastly, your general risk management. Now, depending on where you are, there's going to be a multitude of different acts and regulations to abide by, simply because you are an accounting firm. Now, if you are in the UK, you have the anti-money laundering and customer due diligence issues. So a worker sitting in another country means that you have to tighten your controls and make sure that your policies and procedures ensure that UK standards and requirements are met, regardless of where your remote work is sitting. And that is another area in which cybersecurity protocols become important. So if you are based in the UK, we do have a UK specific governance checklist for you. If you want to have remote workers, this checklist will help you make sure you have all your regulatory requirements in place. It's free, the video, there's a link to the there's a link to the checklist under this video. Sorry, I cannot speak today. But otherwise, I hope this video had you scribbling your own checklist of things you need to review and rewrite and possibly write from scratch. Please do not take the governance side of things for granted. Just because you are an accounting firm and you feel like you have your governance sorted, when it comes to remote work, you want to double check that you and your company are protected. It's not just about being compliant, it's about protecting you. And in the next video, we're going to be looking at general law and protections.